Oh, and just now, I realized that the advantage of the mixing tray being installed at the bottom part, or in this part, is for you to have our next set. Oh wait, these two paintings are like matched. Hi there again everyone, this is again Alan and welcome back to my channel. How are you? Today here in the Philippines, we are now on our 23rd week of the quarantine and I'm praying that you guys are all safe, sound, and healthy at your own homes. Today's video is very special because we are gonna be reviewing a set that was kindly sent to me by Artillery Philippines. So thank you Artillery Philippines, and that is no other than the Miya Himi solid watercolors from China. Artillery Philippines is a local art store that sells a wide range of art, office, and drawing materials like pens, mechanical pencils, pouches, markers, paints, erasers, and a lot more. This is a truly trusted store for me, and in fact, I have bought some items here that I really love and recommend, and some of these are, of course, the Lihit Lab pouch. This has already changed my life a lot because it has helped me organize my things because I have lots of stuff when it comes to drawing. And on this part, this is where I keep my leads and my erasers and my portable paint and some rulers, etc., even my cutter. And on this part is where I keep my travel brushes and my markers. Here are my pens and my treasure at the moment, the mechanical pencils. These are super high quality pencils. They have the Graph Gear 1000, Graph 1000 for professional or for pro, or in the orange. And I still have one to arrive from Artillery Philippines, but I bought it. And yeah, these are super great, especially if you are, drawing professionally. And they also have these Mono Zero eraser. And also I have here my sketch pad. So this is a total package. Do you think I need to review this separately? Yeah. And aside from this, they also have Himi gouache. And by the way, this was the set I reviewed months ago. And they are still super moist and good. So there's no worry they're gonna dry up so quickly as long as you just keep it well. So back to the solid watercolors. I received this package just yesterday, August 15, and I'm really excited to unbox this because this is very special. So let's first do our unboxing. I know a lot of you enjoy unboxing videos or portions. So here, so basically they sent me two items. The first item is the tin set only, and the other set comes in a box and this very interesting container, special container that is comparable to a perfume bottle. So it's covered in plastic. Let's unwrap these again. If you want only the tin set, it's available for 1,300 Philippine pesos or roughly $26 US. And if you want the box set that comes with the special container, it's available for 1,495 Philippine pesos or roughly $30 US. And there's a promo. They have a promo now. If you get two, you get 100 Philippine pesos off. If you're interested, it's available at their Shopee account, which I'll be linking at the description box. If you're from outside the Philippines, I believe they also ship internationally. You may communicate with them via their Instagram account, which I'll be flashing at the screen right now. For today's review, we are going to be having the box set since it's more complete. Anyway, the contents are just the same. And since the tin set is still sealed, I think we can have this for later use or maybe for a giveaway. How'd you like that? And yeah, let's have the box set. So looking at the box, it looks very presentable. It really looks like a perfume because of its acrylic cover, transparent cover, and yeah, it really gives you that classic impression, but still kind of light and chic because of the pastel color. In a way, aside from these yellow, they also have baby pink, baby blue, and baby green, all those dainty colors. And At the back, you will find these information that are in Chinese, but here it says here 3+ ages, so I think this is meant for 3 years and above. It says here it has 18 colors, so here are the colors, and aside from that, everything is in Chinese. So here it says solid watercolor paint set. On this side, it has some graphics that are not so clear. Anyway, now let's take out our set. So here, it's very reflective. Hi, you can see me. Yeah. And it comes with a brush, a water brush, which we are gonna try to use later. Although I don't use water brush, you know that. And let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, nothing else. So here's the container. It's big and it's made out of plastic, but it feels sturdy. And on top it comes with this rubber strip that serves as a handle, like that. Hi. And it says here Miya. So let's check out contents. So here's the, I believe, the sample of their watercolor paper. It says here 300, so I believe that's 300 grams. So here are the sheets. These are 6 sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. I think this is 1.5 or 2 by 5. 2 by 5 inches watercolor paper, and it looks like cotton paper, cold pressed cotton paper. But yeah, I'm interested to try these out, so we're gonna try this later also. I feel that this is super high quality. And now let's go to our tin palette. Mine is a yellow and it says here Miya, aside from the 2 Chinese characters here that I don't understand. Here's also an image of a potted cactus plant. And what's really unique in this tin case is that it has these mixing tray at the back. It flips from this side, which is unique to this brand because the usual tin palettes open like this. See that the mixing tray is from the inside. It opens from the inside and it closes like this, not from the back. But this one, it closes from the back. I don't know their reason for doing this, but why not? So yeah. And another unique thing that I have noticed here is that the mixing palette is painted matte white, so I hope it doesn't get stains easily. So here's the back part. It doesn't come with any ring. And for the cover, it has 3 mixing wells, and here are the paints. They look so beautiful. And another unique thing here are the pans, or should I say the tray that holds the paints, because it's made out of plastic and it's a sturdy plastic, not those, you know, flimsy trays that we usually see from Chinese paints. This is very sturdy, I think. But looking at the paints, they look half pans, but I think they're bigger than usual half pans. So let's try to take out one of the paints here. I know this is painful to some of you, but it's okay. Let's try if we can remove one. So as you can see, it's very securely placed in the tray, but we got it now. So here is a pan, should I say a pan, but here is a typical half pan. Let's see if it fits. So the width fits and even the depth, but the length, but I think it's longer, but it's not as deep as the usual pans or paints. So yeah, I think it's equivalent to half pan. And since we have already, you know, removed one color, I think I can rearrange it now because I don't quite agree in the sequence of the colors. So let's do this. and I'm okay with this. Oh, and just now, I realized that the advantage of the mixing tray being installed at the bottom part or in this part is for you to have a more stable mixing experience, because when you lay your set down on the table, it's flat. It's not gonna move as compared to the usual tin set where this wing can, can go like this, diagonal, and that is quite unstable, especially if you are putting your pins on the table like this. So there's a tendency that it will be moving like this, so it's kind of annoying. So I usually use this part, not this part. So yeah, that's another advantage, unless you are bringing this outdoors, because it doesn't have a ring under it, so you have to support it with your your fingers. For our swatches and sample painting, I'm using Arches 185 cold pressed cotton paper as always. And for the brushes, I'm going to be using the water brush that they supplied. So that's going to be a challenge, because for those who don't know, I don't use water brushes. And for the flat brush, I have here my Royal Aqualon 2150 size 10. And as always, we are not going to be re-wetting the pans prior to painting, to be fair with the other pan sets that we have reviewed before. So I guess we are ready to start. So let's begin with white, and as expected, this is opaque. Next we have lemon yellow. Oh, this is really vibrant. Next is medium yellow. Next we have taupe, and as you can see, this is not taupe, because taupe is like a grayish brown, yeah, a pinkish or a grayish brown, but this is obviously just yellow ochre. Next we have orange. Next we have red. The first 6 colors, or the colors on our first line, are all super vibrant. They're easy to wet, but I've also noticed that they're on the opaque side. So let's see if they remain opaque as they dry. Next color is dark red. Next is peach. And obviously this is not peach, this is just pink. A rose color, because peach is supposedly warm. Next we have purple. So this is a very deep purple, like a dioxazine purple. Next is ultramarine. So this is gonna be crucial now, because I am very particular in this color, and thankfully it's ultramarine. Because we all need warm blue in our palettes, right? I believe there's granulation here, and we are gonna be confirming that later when this dries. This one is sea blue, which is I think a mix of PB 15:3 and white. Next we have Prussian blue. Oops, this is really deep. It's nice. Now the colors in our second line are more transparent, except for the sea blue, so I think that's because of the white mixed in the blue. Let's go in our third line. Now we have here olivine, but it doesn't look like olivine. This is just yellow green, because olivine is a stone that looks more like an olive green. That's why it's olivine. Yeah, you can Google that. Next we have dark green. Yeah, this is I think just phthalo green blue shade. Next is sap green. This is a very nice green, but for me this is more like an olive green rather than a sap green. Yeah, so far this is my favorite here. Next we have burnt umber. Yeah, but this is not burnt umber, this is burnt sienna. This is one of the most useful browns in every palette. Next we have here Adib umber. I'm not sure what they meant about Adi, but I believe Adi is an Indian delicacy or a crepe, but it doesn't look like these. I mean the color. It's supposed to be like more of an ochre, yellow ochre color. This is like a burnt umber, I think. Yeah, a burnt umber. This is a burnt sienna. That's the more appropriate color names for these colors. And lastly, we have black. So now, while we are waiting for our swatches to dry, let's now proceed to our sample painting. Before we start, I'd like to answer this question that I get a lot about my sample paintings. It is if I have any exact references for these. So my answer is no, I do not have precise references for my sample paintings. These are composed images by yours truly from my imagination, from the paintings or sceneries that I've seen before. So these are all mine, these are all original. And I composed this, I sketched these just before I do the sketch of the swatches. So yeah, that's it. So I think we are ready to start. I'm gonna be speeding this up to save time. So if you have any questions, just put it in the comment box about the mixes, techniques, etc. So let's start. Now we're done with our sample painting, and while waiting for it to dry, let's check if our mixing palette got stains. And also I've proven that it's very stable, so it's effective. It's a good design, I think. So let's see, let's clean it and see if we get stains. We're almost done cleaning it, and surprisingly it did not get much stains. It has some traces, as you can see, but it's not what I expected. I expected worse because the paint used was matte. So yeah, I expected it to get more stains, but yeah, I'm amazed that it almost did not get any stains at all. So for that, that's great news. So let's do this. I got the color names from the chart that they provided at their website, which I'll be linking also at the description box. Now our sample paintings and swatches are finally dry. We can now have a closer look. Now this painting here, I did this earlier. This is a test. I used their watercolor paper and we are going to be reacting to this also later. Now when it comes to the color selection, they have here 1 white, 2 yellows, 3 earth colors, 1 orange, 3 reds. I counted their peach as red because it can make violet and it can also make orange. And they have 1 purple, they have 3 blues, 3 greens, and 3 browns and a black. So I have no problems with the color selection. This is an 18 color set and I think that's already okay. No major complaints, but still, if you want me to react on this, I would like to change only 2 colors. First is the olivine. I don't personally use this color, so instead of this, I think I'd be happier to have a Venetian red. And also the peach, obviously this is an opera color, so if it's opera, it's fugitive, but it's a beautiful opera color for botanical artists. But if I'm to choose, I would rather have a magenta color, a PV19 based color rather than this. But yeah, overall it's good. So now let's proceed to the opacity of colors. At first I was nervous because most of the colors were opaque or mostly semi-opaque when they were still wet, but when they got dried, they turned more on the transparent side, at least most of the colors. The notable opaque colors are of course the white color here and the taupe, which is of course yellow ochre, so it's understandable that it's opaque, and also the sap green and the olivine and also the sea blue because this has white obviously. So other than that, most are semi-transparent or transparent side. Now let's check if it's chalky or not. So to check, we are using napkin and we are going to be rubbing it in our swatches and sample painting. So if we get colors in our napkin, then that means it's chalky. Or if we get our watercolor paper messy. So let's see. So I think our napkin is clean on both sides, so I think it's not chalky. Obviously it's not chalky, and also the paper is clean, the white part is not messy. Now when it comes to the movement of the colors, it's not the fastest, but it also moved well, especially here in our sample painting in the watercolor paper that they provided. This paper is very textured, it's between cold press or rough I think, but still it was able to move by itself effectively, as you can see here and also in our sample painting. So I have no problems with their movement and its weight. But if there's something I'd like to note, I think there are 2. First is that they don't dry easily, which is a good thing, especially for the studio artists, because it will give you time to, you know, work on your paintings. But if you do layering, you'll have to wait for it to dry or use a blower before you put your second layer or third layer. Another thing that I've noticed is that the colors are really strong, and this might deceive some of the beginners, but I'm telling you, strong colors are good because it will save you money because you just have to handle it with water properly and you'd be able to achieve the light mixes that you want. And also, yes, I know they did not give us any pigment code information and light fastness information as well, but I'm happy to see that they have here a real granulating ultramarine blue. So that is a sign and a proof that they used pigments here, not just dyes. So I'm happy about that. And also, looking at the sample painting, we have here granulation, so I think it's obvious. So you can see the natural texture there, even in here in the painting that we did using the watercolor paper that they provided. The pigments or the granulation of the pigments are showing really well. See that? It's beautiful. And also, I'd like to commend the water brush that comes with the set. I was able to use it successfully, and I'm proud of that because I don't use water brushes really. But yeah, I'm happy with the output and I'm happy with how it performed. So if it worked for me, I'm sure it's gonna be good for those who are happy or for those who are using water brushes. Now we are in our favorite part, which is the comparison portion, and let's begin with a set of paints that are less performing, obviously, as compared to the Himi solid watercolors. So let's begin with the bottom four. Dong A Creative, Giorgione Watercolor Kicks, Best Buy Watercolors, and Symbolion Watercolors. The following brands are not bad, but still are not better as compared to Himi solid watercolors. So let's begin with Reeves Watercolor, Art Ranger Watercolors, Pentel Watercolors Fine, Faber-Castell Tubes, Maris Watercolors, Prang Watercolors 2019, Prang Watercolors 2007, Maris Watercolors in Pans, Pebeo Studio Tubes, Faber-Castell Solid Watercolors, and Sakura Koi Pocket Filled Sketchbox. In that group also, we have Kuretake Gansai Tambi, Semi Art Solid Watercolors, and Semi Art Semi-Dry Watercolors. Our next set, oh wait, these two paintings are like matched. They're like painted from a cove. Anyway, the next set are the set of paints that are very comparable against the Himi solid watercolors. And yes, I think we can start with the Kokuyo Kamlin watercolors, and we also have Pretty Excellent watercolors. They're not the same, but the level of satisfaction that I have is the same. The Pretty Excellent is more transparent generally, but the colors of Himi solid watercolors are more intense, so I think we have a draw here. Next are the Superior watercolors. I think when it comes to intensity and the vibrance of the colors, we have a draw here, and I think it's obvious. And actually, the colors from Himi are even deeper. But the edge of Superior, just like in our Pretty Excellent, is the transparency. But yeah, you cannot deny the depth of the colors from Himi solid watercolors. And of course, it's not complete without comparing it side by side against its gouache equivalent or sister. And you can see that the colors are very similar, except that the Himi Miya gouache are of course opaque because they're gouache. You can see these two colors are similar. Even the ultramarine are similar. I think also the Prussian blue, very comparable. The yellows and even the yellow ochre and the taupe. Yeah, what else? Here, those are the colors that are similar. Now the next set is made out of both student grade paints and professional grade paints, and they have here light fastness rating and pigment code information, so that is the obvious edge of this set against our Himi solid watercolors, but the performance is really comparable. So let's begin with the Van Gogh 20 new colors. We also have Sonnet watercolors, Winsor & Newton Cotman, Winsor & Newton China, Van Gogh 12+3 half pans, Lucas Aquarel 1862, Prima Marketing Tropicals, Maris Masters watercolors, Paul Rubens watercolors, and the Mongyo Professional watercolors. And lastly, this set is no contest already because these are artist grade paints, so obviously these are gonna be better against our Himi solid watercolors. So this is just for visual comparison's sake. Let's begin with Mijello Mission Gold Class 36 color set. We have the Winsor & Newton Professional Pan set. We have the Holbein Artist Watercolors 30 colors tubes. We have the A. Gallo Honey Watercolors, handmade watercolors from Italy. We also have Holbein Botanical Arts. These are tube paints also. We have the White Knights 36 colors full pan set. We have the White Knights 24 color tube set. We have the Daniel Smith Extra Fine Watercolors in sticks. We have also the Mijello Pure Pigment set 26 colors. We also have Rembrandt Luxury Pocket Box set. And of course, the Daniel Smith Ultimate Mixing set. So now, if you are gonna ask me, would I recommend the Miya Himi Solid Watercolor set? My answer is, of course, a definite yes. If we are talking about the uniqueness of the set, the overall packaging, the color selection, the intensity of the colors, the vibrance of the colors, how they mix, how they move, how they perform overall. I'm very satisfied with the Miya Himi solid watercolors, and I can actually honestly say that it can rival some of the best student grade paints that we have tried earlier. So if you are using this for calligraphy, for sketchpad, for anime paintings, for paintings to be scanned, go ahead. This is really good. This is really not bad for that purpose. I have always recommended the use of artist grade paints and well selected pigment for professional use or for paintings that need to be permanent. If you are unsure of your paint's light fastness, it is very much recommended to perform your own light fastness test to gain confidence in your outputs. Instructions are anyway available online. In 2021, hopefully I'd be able to conduct my own mass light fastness testing for my paint collection. So I think that's all for today. That's all for the Himi solid watercolors. To Artillery Philippines, again, thank you very much for sending these items to me. These are beautiful items and I really appreciate it. Guys, if you're not following them yet, I'll be putting their Shopee and Instagram links at the description box. Artillery Philippines is really a trusted brand. You can count on them. If you guys are not subscribed yet also to my channel, please do subscribe to show support to my channel. And also don't forget to like and share this video. Just keep your comments and suggestions coming. I'm reading them all and I'm trying to respond to each one of you day by day. So please be patient on that. Again, thank you for watching and see you again next week.